Hello.
We are back.
Yeah, and an eventful week as well. There's a lot of stuff to get through tonight.
Oh gosh, yeah. You've been telling me beforehand, Kev. I'm like, blooming heck.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there is.
But firstly, is obviously the Batman. Batman 66 went live this week.
Hold on.
Oh.
I can share that screen. Hopefully it's the right screen. There we go.
Hey, there we are. Yeah, so went up for pre-order today. This week, I should say, not today. And I think they start delivering or start shipping out in February, March time.
Yeah. I will stress, I know a lot of people have been saying this, it is up for pre-order, not you order it and it's going to be with you within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of people I've noticed on the Facebook groups, especially the Nissan Skyline, I've been like, well, I've pre-ordered it. Where is it?
Yeah, it's a pre-order.
Yeah.
So, I always say, always keep an eye on your portal because that tells you all the up-to-date information on there. I say that, though. They did have a glitch this week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So...
but yeah, there's details. 1/8 scale. Length is 71.4 centimeters. I don't know what that is in inches. Die cast metal and ABS. Licensed and faithful replica of the vehicle from the classic 1966 Batman TV series. High quality materials. Pieces made in metal and ABS injection molding. All parts are delivered, already painted and ready to be assembled, unless you're modding it.
Yeah.
Doors open and close. Working siren light, dashboard lights, and rear lights that are activated with a remote control. The afterburner is brought it to life by lighting and sound effects. And the bonnet opens and closes.
Yeah. It's I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. And it's on the top list for a lot of people, I think. I think since the buzz with Eagle Moss and stuff, and then obviously what happened over there, it's just great that once again, Fan Home have come to the rescue and have delivered. So,
and there's some of the free gifts you get: a cap.
Oh, I like that hat.
License plate and some posters. Pretty normal from Fan Home, though, isn't it? No,
yeah. I think like you're either guaranteed a mug or a charger. A wireless charger.
We have the premium subscription, so you can upgrade to get a display case. Extra £1 more per issue. So
yeah, it's worth getting that because display case, though they take up a bit of room, they're worth getting at the end of the day, I think.
We get binders with this one. So
well, I just want to point out because someone actually brought this up. And said, I thought we were getting a binder. And they're not. They're sort of like those. They're not like the binders we're used to get. They're sort of files.
Right.
What you get with the Robocop build. They're not binders as such. They're sort of holders. Someone brought it up and said, I thought I was getting a binder. And no, it seems to be what they're doing now. They're like files.
So keeping the cost down probably.
Yeah, it's understandable. I think most people chuck them away, don't they? Really?
Yeah, but
I'm
just looking at this. The binders are $7.99 each, and that is cheaper than Harshek. Harshek's are $9.99.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they've gone this way to keep the cost down. On the binders and doing it the different way.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, it only come up because someone on the Robocop group said, I thought we were getting binders. What's this?
Yeah.
And it does actually label it as a binder, but it's more of a file. It's like a file system that you put in. You do get proper binders, though, with the Enterprise build. And some... See, this is the thing. I don't understand it personally. Why some builds have them and some builds don't. Optimus Prime doesn't have them.
No, the Prime doesn't have them at all. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just. I don't think the Gauntlet doesn't have any binders, does it?
No.
No. So that's surprising.
Yeah, it's like some of them do, some of them don't. I don't know what I don't know what the top odd decisions are made about what comes with what binder. But yeah.
I don't know if I call them binders though, because the way the binders fan home use tend to be the binders Eagle Moss used, which was the plastic bit in the spine of the vine.
Yeah. They started doing them back with the Star Trek ships when they did them. And I remember getting it and going, like, at first when you get them, you're kind of like, how does this what? Yeah. And then you kind of go, oh yeah, the little bits go in the spine bits, and they always give you too many for the actual magazine, like the thingy, like you're left with loads. It's a little bit awkward trying to get them in as well, because they have to go in the center page, and it's sort of they go in each way, and then
the first few of the magazine of the binder are okay. It's when you get right to the last couple of ones,
you have to stand them all up.
Yeah, you have to squeeze them in there just to put the plastic pin. It's the pain. It really is. I had that with the Ecto 1. Oh man, you can nearly ruin a magazine on that.
Yeah, and they do ruin the magazines as well, because as you put it in the crease, as you put the crease in there, it sort of gathers all the pages up, and you're like, oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
You just had a nice relaxing build, and then you have to put the magazine in a binder like that, and it's just like, no, that is the hardest part of the build. It really is.
The hardest part is putting the magazines in
the binder. Yeah. So yeah. So you've got some news, Kev. Then, and I'll let you get on with it.
Yeah. So we'll go on to Hachette. So the Batman figurine is coming. I've been told that it is coming. We don't. I don't know. I haven't been told at this stage. It's too early, though, or they don't know themselves yet what it's going to come out as. Whether it's going to be sort of news agents or online, and what it's going to be, I don't know. I keep getting. I keep looking up on the national files to make sure it comes out of the news agents. Nothing is on there yet, but I have been assured it is coming out. I'm sort of leaning more to like the Alien and U96, the way they're going to do it, but at this point I don't know. But there is plans for it to be released this year. The second thing was to the Tumblr build. So loads of people have been messaging this is way before, like, been asking this question for ages. Why aren't we getting lots of parts with the Tumblr build? So I put that question to him. I got a response back. So the part count for the Tumblr is small in composed to like a normal car build. So for instance, say a normal car build would have over 1,000 parts. The Tumblr has got something like 700 parts. It's a lot smaller, which means they've had to stretch it longer, which means that when we get our issues each week, or if you get them every 6 every 6 weeks, you're only getting little parts. That will continue through the build, but obviously at some point we're going to be getting some sort of like the armored panels to it. But once again, I've got a funny feeling we're going to get one armored panel, then another armored panel, and it's going to sort of stagger along like that. We've got 4 wheels at the back of the car. I almost guarantee you that they're going to be 2 issues each. You're going to have the outer wheel and then the inner wheel. I don't know if that's the actual case, but I'm going by what the first issues we had was when we done the tyres at the front. That is exactly what happened. So we'll have 4 issues. We'll have 2, 4, 6. We'll have 6 issues of just tyres. So
they did that with Eddie Sturbart.
Yeah, it seems to be the norm thing. So yeah, when I think there's someone was saying, "Oh, we're probably going to do a wheel issue," it's probably going to be 2 wheels an issue. That's the way it works. But the engine and the jet and all that sort of stuff isn't going to be as detailed as normal car builds, because you're not going to be able to see them or anything, but they are going to have to be there. And then the back suspension system and all that's quite complicated. So that's Hachette. We're going to move on to Fan Home now, because there's been a lot of stuff coming out about Fan Home recently. I will just touch on the Enterprise build. Now, there was some concerns that Fanhome were going down the Eaglemoss route of not delivering, and people were going to be left in the lurch and all this, and Fanhome was going to be another Eaglemoss. That is far from the truth. It's not going to be like that at all. Just going to run down quickly what's happened. So I'm going to concentrate on the Enterprise build because that's the one we're mainly talking about. But it's happened with Ecto 1 as well, and the DeLorean and things like that. So when Eaglemoss went bust, obviously the parts company that was making these, so the majority of the parts, especially for the Enterprise, are made in China. When Eaglemoss collapsed, they couldn't pay the money. Obviously, the company can't keep running with no money coming in, so they took on other work. And the manufacturing company that builds the parts for most of the Partworks in China, they build in batches. So they say they will do issues 1 to 20 on the Ecto, and then they will stop that, and then they'll do 1 to 20 for the Enterprise, and then they'll stop that, and then they'll do 1 to 20. So they do it in batches. When the Enterprise and all the ones from Eaglemoss stopped because they weren't getting money, they took on other work. When the Enterprise and that started back up again, it meant that they were at the back of the line. They were at the back, so they had to wait until these other batches were so they can then produce more parts for the Enterprise build. That is exactly what's happened at this point. So the company that they produce now, I've seen a lot of people saying, but they could have gone to another company. There's only 5 companies in the whole world that do Partworks, and there's only one company that will produce the parts for the Enterprise build. It's not a sort of we can go to another company. It doesn't work like that. So they took on more work. So Fanhome came along and said, we want to start back up. They went to the back of the queue, which meant that there is a delay. So all the parts that people have been receiving, that is parts, not magazines, because they're different. We'll get onto that in a minute. So all the parts that people have been receiving is Eaglemoss stock. The new stock is on its way here on a boat. It comes in a container, doesn't go on an airplane or anything like that. It takes time. I don't know roughly. There's lots of websites out there you can find out how long a container ship takes to get to the UK and everything. Once it gets to the UK, it has to be unloaded, checked, and everything else. So there's loads of other delays. But yeah, so what's happened is all the magazines are printed in another part of the country. So when Fanhome get them, they put the two together, and then you get them. So some of the magazines will have Eaglemoss, and some of them will have Fanhome. But all the parts that have been received so far are Eaglemoss stock. So the people that are waiting on the Enterprise build for the last 3 or 4 issues, they are waiting for the Fanhome stock that has been made and is on its way here. It does mean that there's a bit of a delay between them, and for new people taking up the build as well. But I've been assured all that will sort itself out when the parts are here. But it just takes time. There's a lot of logistics behind it. I just wanted to make sure that people realise that this wasn't going to be another Eaglemoss, and people weren't going to be left in the lurch. We should be grateful that we're getting these builds and we're able to finish them, because otherwise we'll be left with nothing. Okay, so the other bit of information coming from Eaglemoss. Sorry, Eaglemoss Fanhome. There's all these companies about. I keep getting confused. Right, so Fanhome. Okay. It's all over the place, isn't it? Right. Okay. There are a couple of collection closures for the UK and the USA, and these are for new customers only. So if you're building any of these builds, you are going to be fine. You're going to carry on building them, whatever. You're still going to get your parts. They're not stopping. It's not a cut-off point. It's a cut-off point for new subscribers, similar to what they've done with the Knight Rider. So if you go on there now, it's on there and it takes you to another thing. R2-D2 is another one. So the collections that are closing on the 19th of January. So it's the 14th today.
Friday. Then.
So Friday, these collections close for new subscribers, not so people wanting to start the collection, not for people that are already building them. They're safe. So the first one is the Marvel movie figurine collection. So that was a previous one that was for Eaglemoss. You know, They done Captain America, all them. I think there was quite a lot of figures that they did. That one's closing on the 19th, and so is the Infinity Gauntlet. So the Marvel Infinity Gauntlet Partwork closes on the 19th of this month for the UK. If you're in the USA, you're fine. These don't affect you. You'll still be able to sign up to them. Now getting over to the USA. So this is a similar thing, but there's a little bit of difference in this. So I've got the official statement here from FanHome. It says they will start to close these in a couple of weeks, within 5 weeks, but that only depends on stock. So obviously, if say they've only got 100 pieces, if 100 people sign up to it, it means it will close sooner than the 5 weeks. This includes the Enterprise build, Optimus Prime, and the DeLorean. So these are only for new customers. So if you're already building these in the USA, you will be fine. You'll be able to build them. Now, at the moment, they said doesn't look like they're going to come back into stock ever again. I would say never say never. A lot of these builds have gone and then come back. So they may come back at some point. But if you really want to build these, you want to go and start up. The Optimus Prime build is, if you're a Transformer fan, it's a must. It's a great build, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, it is.
It's an absolute great build. Enterprise D, both of these actually were quite a little bit shocking to me because the Optimus Prime, we're on pack 7 here in the UK. It's not even been a year yet, so I'm a little bit surprised by that. Enterprise D, once again, I'm a little bit surprised because we've only just gone past the point of returning customers. And it's closing for new customers in the US already. DeLorean, I understand it's been released a few times already. There is one more as well, and that is the Ford GT. This is done through D'Agostini, though, not through FanHome. That also closes on the 19th as well for the USA. Not the UK, but for USA. If you're in the US and you want to build the Ford GT, you have to do it before the 19th. Before Friday. Oh, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to have a drink now. Hang on.
Yeah, I think you need one.
Get your breath back. But there's a lot of info there. Yeah.
Right. Well, I better start going through the comments and see what people's reactions are to that one because.
There's a lot of information to take there, but it's what's there, it's what's happening. They're closing the collections because they've got a load of new ones coming. I understand they've got to make room in the warehouse, cost and everything else. So I understand why they do it. Yeah.
Okay. So first into chat tonight, we've got D Harris says a very good evening, Mark and Kev. Hope you're both well. So evening, D.
Evening, D.
And then we've got Steve131 says evening all. Evening, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hope you're well. D Harris says, and a good evening to all on this chat also. We've got Horlicks in saying, good evening all. So evening, Horlicks.
Evening, Horlicks.
New model tomorrow coming out. I think we mentioned this last week. He's going to be starting La Ferrari round about 8 o'clock tomorrow after the Disney Dolls House with Julie. So please tune into that. And if you haven't already subscribed to Horlicks, please go over and give him a sub and a nice big thumbs up. Because he's doing this for Ian at Partwork Upgrades. So, yeah, please head over there. We've got Spider Brewing saying, hi, Mark and Kev. How are you all doing this fine Sunday? So, hi, JP.
Yeah, hi, Spider. Yeah.
I'm good. I've completed in here. So, yeah, it's been a long slog and now I can put my feet up and rest for a bit before I start building again. I'm not building straight away. The videos are not going to be coming out this Monday, but the Monday after on the 22nd, because I've got to go to my grandmother's funeral on Tuesday because she decided to be difficult and passed away a couple of days before Christmas. So, yeah, she was a difficult person in life and, yeah, she'd always cause a problem. So,
yeah.
But she was one in a million, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Next we've got Burgess says evening Burgess.
Hi Burgess.
We've got Neil Radcliffe in saying, good evening, Mark, Kev, and all.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, Neil. And then we've got Stephen Belcher in saying, hi, Mark, Kev, and all in chat. So, hi, Stephen.
Hi, Stephen.
Hope you're well. Lots of people. So, Burgess says, good news. I'm good and safe. Bad news. A small fishing town 30 minutes away is being slowly nibbled on by lava from the volcano that started this morning. Yeah, I saw that in the news. Yeah, and someone said it was underneath the town or something.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, as long as you're okay, Burgess.
Yeah.
So,
stay safe.
We've got Paul Jordan in saying hi, Mark and Kev, and evening all in chat. So, hi, Paul. And we've got Lord Peter Webster says hi, Kev and Mark. So, hi, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
And Burgess just put in, I'm far away from any damage, which is good.
Good.
Wow. We've got Jay's channel.
Hey, Jay. Hi, Jason.
Hope everyone is okay and well. Hi, Jason. I hope you're
Hi,
okay.
Jay.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to Jason for a while, but we've moved and I need to catch up with him.
Yeah, me too.
So, and then we've got Kenneth says, afternoon, everyone. I'm working on finishing up pack 5 of my IXO collection full kit of the Volvo Amazon. I'm going to be getting my IXO collection full kit of the Subaru Impreza this week. Wow.
Nice.
I remember when I was in my 20s when the Subaru first came out, so I never did it, but it did look awesome at the time. Next, we've got Ian Campbell in saying hi, hosts and all in chat. Hi. Hope you're well. Holix is just responding to the 1966 Batman saying, oh, Jordy Dave will be excited with that Batmobile. Yeah. I know he's been wanting to do it. Steve131 says Batmobile would like to do. Yeah. For me, I didn't really watch the original TV series of Batman, and I really haven't watched many of the films as well. So it's not my kind of area of knowing what's it all about and everything. So I just stick to what I know, and sometimes that can be very limited. We've got World of Wayne saying hi all. I'm somewhere on 11. So hi Wayne, thank you for watching. I have blue starred some of these, and then we've got John's model making saying evening Mark and Kevin all in chat. So evening John. And Kenneth says Mark and Kev are role models that I look up to. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Really nice. Really, really nice. Peter Webster said, I cancelled the Lancaster and pre-ordered the 66 Batman.
Oh, it's a hard choice, isn't it? It's a hard choice which one to do.
Yeah.
Without envy you.
Burgess says, Portal issues, I hope. I'm glad Oss is okay. I'm not too sure what that is. So, yeah, there were portal issues during the week, weren't they? Where you went onto your fan home portal, all the
collections were all messed up.
Yeah, they were. You're getting issue 16, 17 in pack 1.
Yeah, the gremlins crept in during Christmas, I think, and mucked it all up.
Yeah. So, but it's been fixed now. It was fixed the next day, from what I remember. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was very quickly fixed. What I can remember.
We've got Will's Workshop in saying, evening all, new space looks great, Mark. Just watched your video. DeLorean plinth looked familiar. Yes. So, I obviously did a little video today of the new setup and everything. And yeah, I won Will's competition earlier last year, where he was competitioning off the train track from Mike Lane.
Yeah.
And it came with the base that said Eleanor on it, but I've actually got a 3D printed a Back to the Future sign that I can put on it. So, it's in pride of places, that. So, right. Next, we've got David Bassett in, says, evening, Mark, Kevin, and all in chat. Evening, David.
Hi, David.
And Horlick says, them folders are better than the old DeLorean one, original, where you had to put the plastic pegs in the top and bottom. Those were the days.
Yeah.
Don't envy them. They are with the Enterprise build, and they are pain.
Well, I remember doing them before the Enterprise when I was doing the Star Trek starships. They were with them as well, and there was lots of. Yeah, it's like you're saying. The last couple of ones are hard to get in. You have to sort of stack them up to get it in the middle, and
oh gosh, challenging themselves really are. We've got Todd in saying hello and good evening all. Hi Todd, hope you're well. Todd. And then we've got Bookman's Model Mania in saying hey also. Hi Book.
Hi Bookman.
We've got David Phillips in saying evening gents, evening David.
Hi Dave.
We've got Book saying hey everyone again, so that might be to everybody in chat. And then we've got Todd saying Eagle Moss owed PCT over $1 million.
Yeah, wow. they owed. I know they owed a lot to everyone, including their staff, and they owed loads of money to the printing companies as well. Master Replicas have just had loads of magazines that were held back, and they had to pay off the debt to get them delivered. So,
weren't they hiding things as well, Eagle Moss? They were hiding it in different parts, weren't they, all over the place? And
well, that was. I don't know if it was hiding. I just think it was bad management. That's the only way I can describe it. It was post office scandal management style.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was all over the place.
We've got Book saying hi, David and David and David and David and David and David and David.
I did miss any Dave. Yep, Dave.
Actually, David Bassett says no. I think that's for all of us. Book, LOL. Dear. Peter's put. I think you got more than enough. Book, LOL. Oh dear. Sorry, get it there. Pitwell says ET arrived the other day, so Marie is happy. So that's actually been shipped now.
Yeah. I saw on the Facebook group loads of people started receiving theirs now. The first two issues. So yeah.
I think we're now down to after the news reactions. So here we go. David says, and because it's going the long way around Africa due to the drone and pirate attacks.
Yeah, so, I can't comment on that, but you can make up your own from that.
Yeah. Book says it sounds like they're cutting losses on some builds that aren't making money. At least we aren't having fire sales yet. So
yeah, Fan Home don't have a shop to do that. They don't have a website to do the flash sales. So we did get one recently, didn't we? Because where they gave you a percentage off on the build. Cyber Monday, weren't it, or something like that?
Yeah, but that didn't go down well because if you remember, people thought, "Oh yeah, I'll sign up for that," and we got money off the build. And then what happened? They decided to put the price up on the build. That stung tails a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I don't, like I say, I don't know the in and workings. I'm only going on what I'm told. Yeah.
John's Modern Making asks, when is the Batman coming out, Kev?
I don't know. I've just been told it's due out this year.
Right.
So I would imagine sometime this year, but I don't know when.
Yeah. Todd says 66 Batmobile should start shipping in February if shipping holds up. So yeah, fingers crossed. Well, I mean that's quite quick because the ET was on pre-order for quite a while until it started shipping.
Yeah.
So that is quite quick, but there must be definitely the demand out there.
Well, they had some stock of the 66 Batmobile from Eagle Moss, so maybe it's that stock.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what the magazines have got on them, whether they've got a Fan Home logo on them or whether they've got a Eagle Moss logo on them. Yeah,
it would be interesting, yeah.
So anybody that's planning on doing it, let us know what logo it's got on, whether it's Fan Home or whether it's Eagle Moss. So, yeah. We've got Building with the Boys. Scott in saying evening all. Evening, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Just trying to go down here. Everybody saying hi to each other. We've got MP Model and Plasticin saying hello, Marks and all in chat.
Hi,
so,
MP.
hi, MP. Hope you well. I'm trying to catch up here. Right, so Burgess says, I guess no one has played the Portal games. No, I've never heard of that. No. I'll have to check that.
Yeah.
I'll remember. I'll look back on chat when we're done and have a look at it. No, I've never heard of the Portal games. So, is that Stargate?
No.
I thought Stargate. No. Over my head again. Okay, D says, here we go now. Chat takes up the rest of the show, LOL. I'm trying to get through it, D.
We're trying.
Yeah. Ian Campbell says, haha, that bass has done the rounds. Came from Wayne to me to Will, etc. Oh, that's the DeLorean bass.
Oh, has it gone slowly around everybody?
Yeah. Steve131 says, battery dead. Gotta hit this silk. Night all. So, night, Steve.
Night, Steve.
People say night to Steve. John's Model Making says, okay, Kev, I only want his cowl. Is that the tape?
That's the pointy bits.
On his
head.
Right, okay. Todd says the first 40 issues of the Eagle Moss's 66 Batmobile arrived in the US well over a year ago, so they ended up in a warehouse somewhere. Right.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
Fan Home have probably got them, so they will just use that stock, I would imagine.
So yeah, it'd still be interesting to see if they come with the Eagle Moss logo on it, whether they're going to use that stock to start with. So it will be very interesting.
Yeah.
Todd says, sorry, issues 1 to 46 times 200 copies each in October 2021, so they exist. Right. Neil Radcliffe says, is anyone building the ET on their channel?
No.
For me, no.
I think Wayne is.
Yes.
I don't know anyone apart from Wayne building it.
No, neither do I. No, I can't afford. I am maxed out to the limit on that one.
Yeah.
Building with the Boy says the Portal games were awesome. The cake is a lie. I'm gonna have to check out what his Portal games is now. It's got me intrigued.
Is that the one that's in? It's an old game, I think, an old arcade game. I think it was. I think it was a game in the 80s on the. I'm going to say the Atari.
Google this.
And it was on Ready Player One, if I remember. Right. I think that's what it is. I'm getting old now. Certain stuff gets replaced with other stuff.
Portal is a series of first-person puzzle platform video games developed by Valve, set in the Half-Life universe. The two main games in the series, Portal and Portal 2, center on a woman. All right, okay. You might have to check that out, Kev.
I know what Portal is. Portal was a game on Xbox 360 where you'd make portals and you would go through them. You had a portal gun and you could, one sent you on the other way and stuff like that. I wonder if it's that. I don't know.
No, I'm not. I'm going to say, hang on a second. Peter says my wife is building it, Neil.
Oh, right. Okay.
Book says I will be building the ET when it ships to the US. So brilliant. And Building with the Boys says no, Portal is only about 10 years old.
Yeah, it's the one that I'm talking about. It's you had a portal gun, and you could go through. Like you had to make one portal there and an exit one, and you could enter and exit. So a puzzle game.
Right. Okay.
If I remember rightly.
Yeah, because Book says at Kev, yeah, that's the game. Scott says that's it, Kev.
Yeah.
And Todd says Gladys was the nicest crazy lady in Portal. So I'm not a big gamer, so I wouldn't have a clue.
You had to. You had to. There's one where it fires out a ball, and you have to make portals to make the ball get to this point. And yeah, it's like a talking. Like HAL. Do you remember HAL 9000? No, on Space Odyssey.
No.
It's a bit like that.
For some reason, I've been living on Mars because what I watch is completely different to what everybody else watches.
What do you watch then? What do you watch?
Well, I do like my sci-fi, but there seems to be a bigger world of sci-fi out there that I don't even know about.
Yeah, yeah. There's lots of it out there. Lots of it at the moment. I'm currently watching Monarch at the moment. The last episode I've got to watch tonight, but that's based on Godzilla. Have you seen the Godzilla movies?
Yeah,
the newer one, 2015. So this series is based after the 2015 Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, this one's called Monarch. It's on Apple Plus TV. It's quite a good series.
I'm not totally lost then.
No. We all are. I think we all are. We're all a little bit lost.
Spider Sprue says Portal was in Lego Dimensions as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So yeah, okay. At least some from me.
Yeah, there was. I think they've made a few games of it, but I remember playing on the 360. So.
Right. I've been busy. Remember,
Yeah.
Yeah. I really need to catch up on my sci-fi.
Oh, there's so much to get up on now.
You know what I did think would be an awesome partwork though to do with Star Wars? Because I'm thinking in South, you can bring out the AT-AT or the ships. You know, a really good figure from Star Wars would be General Grievous. Imagine doing that
in a big scale, Grievous. Yeah. Yeah. It has to be big enough, though. I think it would have to be big enough to justify. I think.
You'd have to have 4 lightsabers, though, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, and you could get them to spin.
Yeah.
As well, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome. I mean, and they've done the Terminator. They've done the. Let's have a General Grievous.
I think they need to do Slave One. I personally think they need to do Slave One or the Razor Crest.
Yeah.
So. I think both of them would be a win-win if partwork companies out there looking at Star Wars partworks. Ship-wise, they would be a winner, both of them.
Yeah, because we haven't really. There's nothing really been Star Wars released in a while. Nothing new. So obviously we've had the re-release of the Millennium Falcon. We've had the re-release of the R2D2, but they're all partworks. Nothing much. Since then, really.
No, so I mean, we had one during lockdown that was sort of on a test, the AT-AT, and then we had, and then obviously we had the Star Destroyer. Now I thought that was going to go ahead because it looked like a really good build.
Yeah.
And there was lots of talk about it coming out, but it sort of never materialized. And then last year we had the Darth Vader test. From D'Agostini in France. So there's potential out there for getting any of them, but
probably the licensing is not easy now. It's owned by Disney.
Yeah, well, Disney are sort of pulling the plug on a lot of the licensing and stuff like that. I only know that because obviously I collect action figures as well and stuff. So there was a few that does anyone remember the cartoon series Gargoyles?
I've heard of it, but I can't.
It's on Disney Plus. But yeah, they started to redo the figures of the original Gargoyles series, and Disney granted the license, but only to the US.
Right.
So in the UK, you can obviously get them imported, but they're not coming out officially in the UK. Then a company called Super 7 that makes little figures. They did the Muppets, and then they were going to do Animal and the band. I can't remember what the band's called. That was going to come out in a line, and Disney pulled it along with The Simpsons as well. So they're out in the US, but not in the UK.
Oh, right.
I don't know what's happening. Disney seem to be. I don't know whether it's just financially it's not viable for Imperial or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll just catch up with a bit more of this chat. Will's Workshop says apparently there was a sci-fi movie about a time traveling car. Sounds like a flop. Burgess says, I just remember Monarch of the Glen. I think that's the Portal games. Book says, Cole, just checked USPS. They have the next shipment for the VW. Can't wait to get back onto it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to restarting mine again.
Yeah.
I won't tell that. I thought it'd been longer. I don't know. It's only been about 6 or 7 weeks since I last did a video. You know.
Yeah, no, it's not been that long, really, when you think about it.
It seems like it's been like 2 or 3 months. But it's only been about.
I said this to people. It's a bit like what they call it. It's like the Mandela effect, isn't it? It's where you think something is and it isn't. So I think a lot of people have gone, well, I haven't had a delivery for ages. And like you say, I don't think you have. I think you think, but you have, but you haven't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You have had a delivery. You just think you haven't. It's the Mandela effect. Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of people have had deliveries. They've just forgotten. Over Christmas, it all comes as a big fog, did it, over December and stuff. So yeah. I think people just forget. I think
with it being that kind of period, it's just been stretched out and gone so slow.
Yeah, well. I think there has been I think arguably there has been like a 2 or 3 week delay on some stuff. But you've got to think we've had Christmas and New Year's like 3 weeks. So if you take them, we actually we're not behind anyway. We're sort of normal. Yeah.
Scott says, buildable Jar Jar Binks, then we can punch it and throw it down a flight of stairs.
Oh, no. Jar Jar was brilliant. I tell you what, Scott, you want to see some of the darker stuff, because in the comics, they went a darker route with Jar Jar, and he became a Sith.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
yeah, he's become a badass Sith Lord. And I think a lot of people have been calling, like, they want Jar Jar to be that badass Sith Lord. But yeah, they done a comic series where they ran it, and they sort of turned him into a Sith, and he was like think of Darth Vader and turn it up, because he was like ruthless. I think it was a way of just going, you know, that was the crappy character, that was the laughing, joking, everybody hated. We're going to make this character badass, and he was.
I'll tell you a story. Julie doesn't like Darth Maul. I mean, he's Darth's there, and she really doesn't like Darth Maul. And I think we went to the cinema to watch Attack of the Clones when it first came out, and we came out the cinema, and there was a guy that was actually dressed up in costume as Darth Maul, scared the living daylights out of her. So
I remember, you know what? I miss those days when they used to do midnight showings.
Yeah, cosplay.
And they, I can't even remember. I think the last midnight showing I went to was Endgame, Marvel's Endgame.
Yeah.
Because me and my brother went to see Infinity War, and then we went to see the midnight showing of Endgame, and I think that was the last one I saw.
Yeah.
At a midnight showing. Yeah, because they also as they come out, they used to do big midnight showings, and it was really fun as well, because like you say, people would dress up, and it was like a great atmosphere. But they don't do them anymore.
No. Todd said, yeah, Razor Crest in a Partwork would be great. Horlick says, I want a loco in capital letters. So,
yes. Yeah, we keep asking.
Will's Workshop says, I would love to see a Partwork of Stingray.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done Thunderbird 2, didn't they?
Yeah.
They could do Stingray. I always thought Stingray was. I think Captain Scarlet was my thing, but it was a bit more. I found it a bit more grown up in terms of the other ones that they've done. Joe 90 and stuff like that.
I would have thought Stingray though would be not very detailed.
Yeah. You know what? I thought this as well because I was like, oh, I'd love a Starbug.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know how popular. I know it's big in America, but I don't know how much of a partwork that would be.
I'd like it if D'Agostini was to re-release the Thunderbird 2, because I think that'd be more popular now that there's more partwork builders.
Yeah, well, they also did an extension for that as well, because I remember you had Thunderbird 4, which obviously goes into it.
Yeah.
And then they did the pod and that, but I think they did an extra pod with loads of attachments.
Yeah, I believe so.
And they did a hanger as well. I think they did a diorama hanger for it and everything.
Yeah. So I'd love to see them re-release that, because that would be interesting to do.
Yeah.
So, Buck says newest full run partwork for Star Wars was the X-wing, as far as I've seen. Yeah, because I did the X-wing. I stuck with it till the end.
I'm wondering whether that the Millennium Falcon and R2D2 are very popular, and then I was wondering, like me, because I built them too, and when I saw the X-wing, I was like, and I think it fell off, and I think they went, well, no one's buying Star Wars stuff anymore, so we won't do any.
I think what got with the X-wing was it was just so repetitive, and a lot of people gave up. Plus the fact there were some other partworks coming out at the time, so the Terminator was released at the same time. So a lot of people were trying to think of value for money, really. So I mean, I stuck with mine. I finished it, but yeah, it was not the best build in the world. Was the X-wing, because there was the problem with the wings. There was everything that you covered up, all that detail. So
yeah, I remember there was problems with the electrics as well, wasn't there, with opening the wings and stuff?
Yeah. So you know, I think the X-wing spoilt the Star Wars partworks collection, really. So, but it's been great to see the Millennium Falcon come back, because there's got a lot more mods for that now than there was on the first run.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many mods for it, and loads of people seem to be doing it as well.
Yeah. So, and maybe if I were to do that again, I'd go with the mods, but no, I've got.
Yeah, I think it was 2016 that was originally released.
Yeah. So
time ago. Now.
Yeah. And I built that sat on my living room floor or on the sofa.
Yeah.
The things that change.
The things you do when how far you've come and everything. Yeah.
Will's Workshop says Gargoyles was great.
Yeah, it was a good series. Yeah.
John says bring on John Carter 2 and 3. Peter says I built up to 112 now on the V-dub. So that's good. You're quite close to the end on that one. So I think it's 120 issues. Is the
right? Okay, so that's not too long left now.
Rossi finishes in the 90s. So yeah. Will's Workshop says does not help that Christmas is 12 weeks long. LOL. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Book says I run my partwork vids 1-ish a day. It takes a while for a full pack to get posted. I'm sitting on 2 weeks of content to post. Wow.
Yeah, I do the same. I have been doubling up on a few issues. I find some of the issues you can't do a full video on. You know, you like to do a full video, but the contents, there ain't enough there. So that's when I sort of double it up. That's what I find.
Scott says, yeah, you can never sell me on Jar Jar, basically the Yoko Ono of Star Wars. Pollock says, please check Kev's YouTube link in your description. It's the dead link. Right, I'll have a look at that after Horlicks. Thank you for letting me know. And Horlicks says there is 22 watchers and only 5 likes. Please hit the thumbs up, please. Yes, please, can you do so? Really does help the algorithm, especially my algorithm is zilch at the moment because I haven't been doing any videos for 7 weeks. So Yeah. Peter says there are a few awkward bits up to 112 buck of the camper van. I'm just going through. Peter Webster says Joe 90 would be great, would be good. So
yeah.
Will says Thunderbird 2 with several pods would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, they did do that.
I want to do a Thunderbird 3. Thunderbird 3 was my favourite, and it was the least used vehicle or craft.
And well, Thunderbird 5 was featured a lot, but I don't think it done it. It was their space station.
Yeah.
But Thunderbird 3 wasn't used a lot because I think it was due to space stuff, wasn't it, mainly?
Yeah.
You had Thunderbird 1 and 2, which mainly went on Earth.
Were always out, yeah.
Thunderbird 3 was for their space stuff. And Thunderbird 4 was obviously in Thunderbird 2, the mole.
And Thunderbird 5, you always saw every single one because it all,
it was the space station. Yeah, it was the space station.
The Thunderbird 3 was my favourite, but not used as much as any others. So, yeah. The person who flying that craft always got to put his feet up then.
Yeah.
Buck says, I stuck with the X-Wing as well, but it was not good build. Lots of fit issues at the end and a ton of parts you never see or take it out to throw it away if you do aftermarket parts. Yeah. So it was one of them builds where you just had to stick with it and hopefully things would resolve themselves. We've got Kevin Marsden in saying would absolutely love a Johnny 5 short circuit robot Partwork. Yep.
Yeah, most of us would. Yeah. It's I think we don't know. We just have to wait.
Yeah, I think Todd's leading the
charge on that.
Yeah, on that one. So, Pete Webster says, "I don't know how you build it without lots of bleach." Well, I don't put them in. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I have done in the past, and I've gone. Yeah, but Book says, I find it calming, and since my channel is set to adults only, I can beep all I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Peter says he's got 2 packs of the VW left. JP says, build my DeLorean on the sofa and floor. So, yeah, same. You know.
Yeah, we always start somewhere, and that just shows you how good the Partworks are, is that you can do these on the floor, on the sofa.
John's Model Making says, gotta go night all night, John.
Right, John.
Peter West says, I've been catching up on the Rossi build and still want to throw it out the window.
Oh, it's not that bad, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
if you want to test your skills as a modeler, do the Rossi. You have to be extremely patient with it. And I mean, we moved house and mine was okay. Only one tiny thing broke off it, which had broken off before anyway. But it's a lot of patience with that build.
I suppose you haven't done the Enterprise build then, with the little windows and then putting the panels on. Yeah. That can be testing at some points. Very testing.
The Rossi is one of them builds. You love it and you hate it at the same time. So yeah, it's nice to do.
There's a lot of builds like that. That one behind me is one.
Well, yeah, the alien. Will's Workshop says my son occasionally nicks his mum's glasses and is a spitted image of Joe 90. Wow. Facebook user says Batman 89 mobile.
Yeah, there's a lot of weight. Wasn't there an email? There was an email sent out. I can't remember which company sent out. I think it was Fan Home, which had all of the Batmobiles on it. I can't remember who sent that out. Some company did a sort of survey for it.
I'm surprised there's not been, say, a Batman figurine collection.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot
No, there has been. I think there has been, but it was based on the comics, not the films, if I remember rightly. Because Kirsty's got a few of the figures that Eagle Moss did, because they did a DC figurine collection. She's got some of them.
Yeah.
But it's now. I don't think it's been revisited. But then they did. You remember they did the vehicle collection, the Batman vehicle collection, didn't they? And they did loads of like you kind of go, well, how many Batmobiles can there be? But then there's loads.
I remember the Eagle Moss Star Wars vehicle collection. How many TIE fighters? Just because it might have had a little bit of black on one side.
That was the Agostini. That did the original ship collection. And I think Fanhome do a newer one which has the Razor Crest in and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, because there was like Red 5 weren't there and different squadrons, they just done loads. You got Poe's ship, which is sort of black, isn't it? Black and orange.
Yeah, there's a blue version of the X-Wing. There's also
orange. Yeah, there's loads.
Yeah. Will's Workshop says, I still have a Matchbox Tracy Island plus Thunderbird 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wow. Yeah.
They were a must when we were all kids, I think. Like the big... I mean, everyone, I think, around that sort of time wanted that. The Tracy Island. I wanted the Enterprise Bridge. So Playmates did an Enterprise Bridge with all the figures. I got that for Christmas, I remember. I'm sure I can't believe I got rid of it all.
You can 3D print an Enterprise Bridge.
Yeah, I can 3D print. I can print a lot of the bits now, panels and stuff like that. So, potential.
And I've got probably Kirsty in the background going, don't give him any ideas.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. D says, X-Wing was the hardest build to watch, repetitive with a lot of hidden parts. Yeah. It was. It wasn't the easiest thing, but it was the first build I put on my channel. So, yeah. I've got to look at that. I always look back at my first video thinking, oh my goodness, what happened there? Billy with the Boy Scott says, night all, night Scott.
Night Scott.
Peter Webster says, every time you pick it up, you have to repair it, the Rosset. Yeah.
Rosset.
And then Ian says, keep your Rossi build away from 3-year-olds too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian's went for a tumble.
Yeah. Ian says, gotta go, chaps. Been fun. See you soon. So, night, Ian.
Night, Ian.
And Todd says, the Batmobile survey was Hachette.
Right, okay.
And then he says, and since we got the Tumbler and the 66, I can only imagine an 89 coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So George Clooney one was quite good as well. That was the one that glowed blue, if I remember rightly. The George Clooney one was the one with Mr. Freeze in, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I think it also had Uma Thurman as Venus. Not Venus. Yeah. Ivy, Poison Ivy. That was it. Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. But the Batmobile for that was quite good. It had a load of bits that glowed blue, like along the edges of it, and the wheels all glowed up blue. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
But I can't remember that when that was. Was that 94, 95, 96 even?
I think I've only watched a bit of that one because it's so cringy to watch. It's like, right, we'll get top stars at the time to do a Batman film and to be probably one of the worst.
Wasn't it? Weren't it the Bat Nips? Weren't it the one with the bat suit with the nipples on it?
Yeah.
They called it the Bat Nips.
Yeah. It was one of the worst ones they've ever done.
It was when they introduced Robin as well, I think, and then you had Batgirl at the end.
That was the previous one, was Robin.
Oh,
that was one with Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Here's me saying I don't know much about Batman. And then, Robin was the Val Kilmer one in Batman Forever, which was Jim Carrey's the
Riddler.
The Riddler.
Yeah. And Tommy Jones as Two-Face.
Yeah. That's as much Batman as I know. I don't know anything after that. So, Will says the 90s cartoon Batmobile is also a great looking version. Don't think there is enough detail for a model, though. Yeah.
I find that with a lot of cartoony sort of stuff, which surprised me when they did Optimus Prime at Agora, based on the cartoon version.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts.
Book says I will build the tumbler when it comes to the US and the 89 if they ever come out with it. So
the tumbler might be a while away because Agora couldn't acquire the license for it.
I know one thing Buck's dying to get his hands on as a partwork, and that's because he's Disney mad, is the Doll's House.
Doll's House.
I think he's petitioning Harcher, like, why are we not getting it over here? And yeah.
Well, Agora is their US arm. So unless Agora go, yeah, okay, we see money in that, I don't know if you'll ever get it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but there is a forwarding service. Ian does the Partwork distribution.
Yeah. So, Will says my first video build is kit. I can see how much I've grown since then in such a short time. Yeah, you kind of do. You kind of sort of
evolution. It's the evolution. Watching the videos back.
Well, I think once you get over the fact that just be yourself, then yeah, you just have got to be yourself and not trying to be this very nice conservative, but it never worked for me.
No.
So, yeah, I am who I am. Will says Poison Ivy. So
Uma Thurman, what was it? Yeah.
Book says the Clooney Batmobile would make a great partwork. Spice Proof says the only good part was the car in that film.
Yeah. Even though it had like a big cast as well, it had Clooney, who was quite big at the time. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
And it just died on its feet.
So Book says bat nipples.
The bat nips, yeah.
Facebook user says Val Kilmer will be good with all the lighting in the entire body.
Yeah.
So yeah. Will says great stream, guys. See you on the next week. See you night, Will.
See you, Will.
And D said, think you were doing X-Wing while John was doing the Falcon on his afternoon streams. Oh, could have been. Yes, I think I was. Yes, I was. Yeah. Spider Spruce says Batgirl was introduced in Clooney's Batman. So yeah. And Facebook user says even the Bat aircraft from the Dark Knight Rises would be cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it had the propeller underneath it. It was a unique design. It was cool.
Yeah. And Book says, yep, my wife really wants the dolls up. Yeah. Right, well, we've done.
Right.
We've done that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Even after all that information and everything. Yeah.
Good laugh at the end.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week. Usual time, usual place. See what comes out in the next week. And
yeah, we should. I haven't received any deliveries since the week before Christmas. So I'm hoping stuff has been posted out. So I'm hoping stuff turns up. So I might have a busy week next week or this week coming.
I've got a massive backlog to clear, but I'm not starting any of it until after Tuesday. So yeah, I'll be getting on. But my videos will be back on Monday, the 22nd of January. So yeah. And I do have a poll on my channel at the moment in the community tab about which people want to see me catch up on first. So if you want to head over to that and vote, and then whatever comes out on top, I'll do. So, so yeah, we'll say good night and let everybody enjoy their rest of their Sunday evening. So I've been Mark.
And I've been Kev.
And we'll catch you on next time. Bye, guys.
See you later, guys.